Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Liz, business coach for women of color. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how you can supercharge your business growth because you have a small audience. This is something that doesn't get talked about much, and usually people think that people who have the large audiences are the ones that have more of an advantage. But in actuality, if you have a much smaller audience, you actually have a ton of advantages that often get overlooked. So by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what you can start focusing on next so you can really start turning things around in your business. Let's get started. The first thing that will supercharge your business growth with a small audience is the fact that you will actually have accurate lead generation numbers. This is a big one because with people with large audiences, because they have this large pool of people that they can market to, and that's whether they've gone viral or maybe they were hustling for a long while, then eventually they kind of gave up on the hustling and just started marketing to the people that they have. The success that they are experiencing in terms of the income goals that they're hitting is just based off of what their audience looks like at one point in time, which means that they don't know what their numbers actually look like when they are just reaching out to new people that are coming in to experience their service. This is a big deal because then what ends up happening is that after typically around a year or so, they start to see their numbers declining. They start to see that they're not hitting income goals quite as easily as they used to before. And this can create a ton of mind drama. And they start to think and question, well, maybe I'm not as good as I think I am. Maybe I don't actually know business as well as I thought I did. This is something that people with small audiences can avoid because you're truly starting from scratch and building from scratch. You actually see accurately what actions you're taking in your business that lead to a particular set of numbers. It doesn't mean it's going to be exact every single time and as easy to count as 1 + 1 is 2. But it does mean that you know that there are actions you need to take. You know generally what type of result that produces, and then you can pivot how you want to be able to hit the income goals that you're looking to hit. From your perspective, you can aim at a star and shoot for it. But when you have a huge audience size, you don't have that accurate number. And so you're basically churning through your audience to hit these high income goals that look so good and so sexy on social media. But then when the pool is done, you lost. So people with smaller audiences, they have that unique advantage because they're just able to build from where they are, and then they can pivot it to whatever they need to hit the goal that they want to hit. It's a very unique place to be in and causes much less drama, much less spinouts, because you know that you are the one who created your results. You know that it was you. It wasn't anybody else that jumped into your body and got these results for you in your business. It was you. You know exactly what you did because you planned for it. You know what it took to get you there. Other people, not so much. So that's the first one. The second way that having a small audience sets you up for success and is able to help you supercharge your business growth is that fewer numbers, as in fewer people coming in and inquiring about your services, actually motivates you to improve your skills much faster. So because you have a much smaller audience in the very beginning, new people inquiring about what it is that you do and how you can help them, it's not going to happen all the time. It's pretty normal for it to happen maybe once a month, more like maybe every other month or so. It's definitely going to look different, but the point is that there are going to be large stretches of time where there aren't going to be people banging on your door to come work for you, where it's going to be perfectly normal for you to be hearing crickets for a long period of time. And so that's actually a perfect time to be working on the additional skills that you can use to serve people when they do come to you. That means working on things like your sales skills, doing it in a way that feels ethically and morally aligned with you and your values. It means working on your coaching skills, for instance. Even if you're not a coach, if you're any type of service provider, if you're trying to help someone achieve anything or help them do anything that's not you just doing it for them, then coaching skills come in handy, because if there are any moments in time where your client is not maybe moving forward at the pace that is expected or something that they had wanted to move at, then you can use coaching skills to get to the bottom of that. You can work on things like your customer experience, which is actually a completely separate thing from your coaching or from your teaching or whatever service you're providing. It's a completely separate area. There are many different things you can work on and start developing your skills in, so that when people do start coming in the door and do start asking you, you can feel more confident in your ability to help them and take more advantage of that opportunity, because you have spent time working on those skills already. Whereas people who have much larger audiences and people come and inquire about their services much more frequently, they don't really have that motivation to do that. And it's important to distinguish between the desire to want to help clients and having the skill set to do so. It's two completely different things. So people with much larger audiences can have the desire and the heart to want to serve their people, but because they haven't also worked on that skill set piece, then they're churning through people much more quickly. Maybe they're getting a ton of no's on sales calls, but it doesn't really faze them that much, because maybe they're just used to getting at least 5 to 10 a month, and so it doesn't really matter. But then the issue comes, we go back to step one, where they don't realize that actually the pool is limited because they have not actually developed a marketing strategy in alignment with reaching out to new people. So they're less inclined in general to work on these additional skill sets, because they know from their experience, from what they've seen and observed, that the people will just keep coming. And then there's also less of an incentive to actually really deeply serve people in a way that helps build retention, because they know from their experience that people will just keep coming. So then they just keep churning through folks. Whereas people with small audiences, because you know that it's not quite as easy for you to get as many people coming in as it is for someone who already has a large audience size, you make the most of those opportunities. You build that skill set early, you work on it, you develop it. When you do make mistakes, because you will still make mistakes, you learn from those mistakes, and then you're able to serve people more skillfully on sales calls and when they come to meet with you. And you're already working on your retention numbers, because it's already something that you care about. So you're already becoming a better service provider. Some people in the business coaching space might say, it doesn't matter. You shouldn't be worrying about that. Just be grateful and happy when the next client comes, and, don't have all this expectation. But that inherently is gaslighting you on your actual experience. And business coaches that think that the experience of someone with 10,000 followers is the same experience as someone with less than 1,000 followers is insane. It's not math. It's not grounded in reality. It's a gaslight. And they're going to find out sooner rather than later why that is. So if you have a small audience, you are already so uniquely positioned to be able to just work on this from the beginning, and you have not only an actual advantage in terms of generating income long term in a sustainable way, you also have that mental and emotional advantage as well, because you have less of a spin out. You know what you're trying to do. You have an outcome that you're hoping to achieve. You will pivot and experiment as you go. And then the third reason why having a small audience supercharges your business growth is because you do all this hard work at the beginning because you're more incentivized to do so. And because you do all of this hard work at the beginning, you know that growing a successful, thriving, sustainable business is much more than just marketing and sales whenever the hell you feel like it for whatever random reason. You know exactly what's involved, and you're very intentional about every aspect of your business. Everything from not just the marketing and the sales to the customer experience to the financial management to the internal operations. You're very intentional about all of these things, and you see how the puzzle pieces connect to each other. And that is a perfect foundation for scaling whenever you're ready to. You know how to connect the dots. You have practice aiming for your goals and then seeing what pieces need to fit in order for you to get there. You're coming from a place of so much confidence and so much empowerment because you not only just believe in yourself because you're awesome, you believe in yourself because you've already collected so much evidence along the way as to how you have troubleshooted to hit your goals, how your brain has helped you to hit your goals, to solve problems, to get things done while also being in alignment with your nervous system, not hustling, not doing anything that feels unethical or sleazy. You have so much of this evidence already, so then why wouldn't you be able to keep doing it? So there you have it. 3 reasons why having a small audience gives you such an advantage when you're trying to build your business. It looks completely different from someone who has a large following, but different doesn't mean that it's worse. In many ways, it's actually better because you're already setting these realistic expectations for yourself. You're preparing yourself for the things you need to get done, and you're not distracted by these artificial measures of success, like 10K months and all this other stuff that mean nothing without context. And if you know that this is the type of business that you want to build, something that is sustainable, something that you love, that creates actual, real impact, then there's a place for you in my one-on-one coaching program. I can help you figure out what you need to work on next so you can do this for yourself as well. Set up that amazing foundation, start hitting your income goals, then just shoot for the next star. And then even if you land on the moon, you're still on the moon. Spots open up for one-on-one coaching on April 1st. So if you're not already following me on Instagram or on my email list, make sure you use the links in the description box to get on those, because those folks will be the first ones to know when spots open up on April 1st. So mark your calendar and get ready. I'll see you then.